I hear you completely. Speaking of tainted, Liverpool agreed terms with Andre, but now a bid of 25 million has been rejected, and it looks like they're not going to be signing him. That is a young 22-year-old Brazilian midfielder from Fluminense. I think it's pronounced Fluminense. What's going on at Liverpool, Steve? Because I know you predicted them to do well this year, but they're struggling to buy anyone.
They are struggling to buy people. I still think they'll do well. You know what I mean? But signing Peter Andre is pretty low level because he looks good, Andre, but he's not good. Since he left Katie Price, he's been quiet, man. But Liverpool,
I've seen no music from him for a while now. It's and the irony is, he is a mysterious girl because no one knows who this player is, bruv. Like the Liverpool, honestly, Liverpool fans, do you know who he is? Like, and I don't even mean that as a dig. Tell me something about him because I know Niente. He's not a name that I've seen come up at all. It says cry more, Terry. How am I crying? I'm not a Liverpool fan. I'm asking who is he? And that's not a dig. But you haven't got him yet. Look, I think they'll do all right this season. I still think they'll make the top 4. But their fans must feel so disappointed. No DM.
They will do. Look, if you look at the levels they were at a few years ago, they were talking about a quadruple at one point. And it looked like it might happen. They were that good. They were in the final of the FA Cup, the Carabao. They were on for the league and the Champions League final. They ended up with the 2 domestic trophies, which, listen, it's not that ain't no disgrace. If you win a Carabao Cup and an FA Cup in a season, it's a good season. But they classed it as a bad season because they were on for the quad, and they were a good side. Then you look at that side to where they are now. That is just a lack of not planning. Whether that's a lack of Jurgen taking his eye off the ball and thinking they don't need anyone, or whether that's a lack of FSG saying we haven't got the funds to back you that way, I don't know. But this recent transfer window where we all know they've got 115 million burning a hole in the pocket now because they told everybody, and they can't get anyone over the line. It's strange, but I still think they're a good team. And Liverpool are the team that I worry about the most because I've been in battles with them, and it's fucking draining, man. Because they're good. That's me having a bit of respect for Liverpool. They are a good side. And when you're in a title race with them, it's non-stop. And I've spoken to Liverpool fans. They say they hate City because of that. But it's a bit of a mutual respect thing. But, yeah, I just don't think they've got it right there. I just think if they have another bad season, then, old Jurgen, it might be time.
It might be. And with the stories that came out in The Athletic today, I know that Hussam will be crying into his cornflakes when he woke up this morning and read this about how Klopp, because of what Hussam said, and many Liverpool fans endorsed, one call from Klopp, and unless it's at Man City that are competing with us, he says no to your club and joins us. Turns out he literally spoke on the phone to Caicedo and he got told no. So Hussam, it's done now, Hussam. We know the Paul question's over. And they will be feeling gutted. And I know how they feel because Man United are going down a similar path right now. We want Gravenberch struggling to get it done. We want another centre-back struggling to get it done. Amrabat struggling to get it done. We look like a small side when you compare us to a lot of our rivals. And all the boys we're struggling to bring in are all 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", that would add that extra steel and size to the team. So I know how Liverpool fans are feeling. But the difference between, I think, a lot of some Liverpool fans and a lot of United fans is we're going to call it out. A lot of Liverpool fans I'm seeing online are doing a disservice to Klopp and a disservice to their club because they're essentially protecting the club and they're talking about Endo as this is some masterstroke signing. They're talking about this Andre kid like he's the next big thing, and he could be, but I never heard of him. Nobody was talking about it much. No Liverpool fan that was on any of the streams in the last few months has said, do you know what? Drop all these targets of Caicedo and Lavia. Forget about Jude Bellingham. We need to go for Andre in Brazil. No one said that. So let's not pretend suddenly that you've found this gem. And I think Liverpool fans are protecting FSG far too much by sort of papering over the cracks with this weird positivity. The communist Merseysides are out again. There's no bad luck. There's no problems in paradise. And look, I think they'll still qualify for the Champions League. But in my opinion, as of right now, their season's already over because they are not challenging you for the Premier League title. And that is a standards that Liverpool set under Jurgen Klopp. And if they're not challenging for Premier League titles, from a Premier League perspective, that's a failure of a season. So I feel a bit sorry for Liverpool fans, really. They have been let down so many times by their ownership in the last 3 to 4 years. It's unbelievable. And the fact that they haven't really started doing, there might be tweets and hashtags and a few banners, and that's great, but that does nothing. I say this to Man United fans all the time. Even 5,000 if you're in a protest means nothing. The only way you'll get action is you need to do something tangible that actually impacts your ownership. And if you don't do that, why do they care what you think and say? You know, the other day when the Greenwood thing happened, the guys, they changed their minds because we all showed outrage about it on Twitter. No, they didn't. They changed their mind because it was going to damage them financially. That is why. And that's how you hurt these types of owners, is financially, because that's what they care about, is making bunts off you. But yeah, Liverpool, they're in trouble for me. They're in. This year says Terry, why is Amrabat didn't join your club yet? Spoke about this many times. It's on us. We ain't bid yet. We ain't done the official bid yet because we're struggling financially, because we've got poor owners that run us badly. But I'm not afraid to call it out. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, actually, he lacks ball retention, and I've been studying him on YouTube videos, and actually, he has this problem and that problem, and he's a little bit slow, and his head's a little bit shiny, and the shine off his head is going to put off Onana in goal, so that's why we didn't buy him. No, we haven't got him yet because we don't have the money available right now because our owners are piss poor. That's it. Point blank. Why don't you have Lavia? Because you penny pinched instead of paying the asking price, and you lost him because of your ownership, predominantly. So that's why, my bros. You can call me out about my club, but I call my club out. I speak the truth, or the truth as I see it. You don't. You will. I guarantee you, you guys will be out there, the majority of Liverpool fans on socials, defending what your owners have done. It's a fucking madness. It's a madness, in my opinion. In my opinion, anyway. Some of you won't. They got Endo. They did. Big up truth. Well, it is the truth. It is the truth. I don't care what you can disagree with me if you want, but tell me why I'm wrong. If you think it's wrong, then tell me why. They're in trouble. It's in challenging for the league. They're not going to get relegated or anything crazy like that at all. But yeah, they're in trouble as far as I'm concerned. This is an interesting super chat. It says, what do you both think football needs going forward in the world? I think that means.
Well, I can see the FFP thing getting fucked off. And the reason I can see it getting fucked off is the Saudi League, is getting the players they want when they want. And if they start damaging the Premier League, if they take any big stars off the Premier League, then the Premier League are going to think, hold on a minute, why we're the biggest Premier League in the world. We should be the one that everyone's watching. But the Saudi League have took them. Because if you can offer a player 3 times more wages in Saudi Arabia, no matter what ambition a player is, a lot of them might take it. So if they take some young stars from the Premier League, I believe the Premier League will have to rethink and think, hold on a minute, we're not the top dogs anymore. The best players in the world, some are going to come because they want the trophies, ambition, of course they are. A lot of them are going to jump ship. And if it damages the brand, that's the only way the football people will listen. And then you've got a danger of a free-for-all, like you say. You've got a danger of everyone. And the only winner is going to be the players. They're going to get massive wages. The only losers will be the fans because the ticket prices and everything will increase. So at the minute, I think something's simmering across football. I don't know the answer to it, but I'm sure something mad will happen soon.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the reform on FFP is needed, but you can keep it in place, but just allow owners to invest more money. You can still put a cap, and maybe this will come into world football, and this will even slow the Saudis down. It's very easy for FIFA to do this to a degree. If they want to be FIFA affiliated, is whatever your club's turnover is, you can only spend a maximum cap, but your owners can pump in, and maybe it's not unlimited. Maybe it increases. At the moment, owners can only pump in £100 million every 3 years. Maybe that increases to 100 million a year, as an example, 150 million a year. So it enables more of the owners in the Premier League, for instance, to pump more cash in to grow their team and maybe compete with what Saudi are looking to do, as an example. But I also feel like UEFA, like they've as much as FFP, a lot of people think it's done to help the elite clubs, and I understand that take. I do feel like the reason they also want these caps is because the Premier League makes so much more money compared to Europe, and if they relinquish these caps, the Premier League clubs will be able to spend so much more than the majority of their European counterparts. But maybe with Saudi getting money coming in, UEFA's got to look at it as more of a, not an internal issue, but now of an external one. So I think you could be right. I definitely think they'll be reforming it because the money in football keeps growing. The amount of money that TV companies, sponsors are willing to pump in continues to grow and grow and grow and grow. And at some point, one of these big streaming companies, and it could even be something like Twitter. You know, if you're look how much money Twitter's already making, so much more money under Elon Musk. They're making so much money. They're even giving it. They launched Threads, didn't they, over it? And everyone's like, I'm leaving. I'm going to Threads. It's better. Fuck Elon. And then he went, I'll pay you for tweeting. No one's on Threads anymore. Everyone's back here tweeting probably 3 times more than they were before. Eventually, someone like Twitter will buy it. Will buy football rights and say, as long as you're a Twitter blue, like per month, you'll get Premier League football. You can stream it on your phone. And you'll be able to connect it to your TV because everyone's got a smart TV these days. They'll do something like that, but pay 3 times what Sky pay. And then that'll be it. And that'll be even more money into these clubs. So, yeah, the money isn't going anywhere as far as I can see. There's too much demand for this game. In terms of changing the sport, there's no need to change anything. It's the biggest and it's the best sport in the world. No other sport can compete for its global reach, in my personal opinion. No other sport comes close. So, yeah, keep it exactly as it is.